I'm Sonya Rennick. I'm the Executive Director of Financial Reporting for Mission Health System out of Asheville, North Carolina, and we currently use Infor Lawson, mostly Smart Office. Before Spreadsheet Server, I think we literally had this system that I would look at and think, one day it's going to open up and go run, DOS run, because everything was so manual. So all of our reporting was done by, we open up the reports, we print them out, then we take them and then we hand key them into an Excel just to generate anything that we need to do. For an accountant, that's just one step up from using general ledger paper that's, on the green bars. We've consolidated a lot of our different departments, such as treasury, reimbursement, finance is just one of them. But all those departments we have shared licenses with, because with each of our entities we have different tax returns that have to be filed. So we've used Spreadsheet Server to set up templates in order to line by line tag along with what the IRS form is, so that we can open it up and get the same data for every single entity, and it's all the same, as in replicating the same lines off the balance sheet or the income statement, and we can do those tax returns in-house, just one person, with the data integrity, and that'll take a lot less time than it did before having to outsource those reports. Being in healthcare, we also have to do a lot of surveys, which means we have to turn in all of our statistics as far as what we're doing productivity-wise and how the health system is looking as far as the census and the surgeries. Also, many of our hospitals are critical access hospitals, so we have to keep a check on some of our costs as well. So we have made templates so that do our Andy survey, which is something that is healthcare specific to North Carolina. So we've done templates that actually upload that information directly out of our GL, when before we were using actual work papers where I had taken pictures of them. They have calculations that are just hand-keyed and handwritten all over them just so that we could do these reports. Now we have the same data being pulled for each entity in just a matter of minutes. We also use it for any of our cost report audits, because being in healthcare, we were subject to cost report audits from different auditors, and they tend to want a lot of GL detail that's pulled out of our system. Before, we would have to go into our Lawson reports, run a report, dump it into Excel, clean it up, giving them something usable. That would take, anywhere, and I've timed myself, 5 to 7 minutes per inquiry. But now with Spreadsheet Server, I can do that in just half that time. And so all I have to do is type in the account that I'm looking for, do a drill down function, and dump it into one spreadsheet instead of giving them about 500 for all those requests. Same thing with our annual audits. We've used that to consolidate our annual audit and just do the whole reporting in the cash flow system by just pulling that information simply out of the GL instead of running simultaneous multi-reports and hand keying them. Before, some of those reports that we were doing so manual would take one person a day, day and a half, 2 days if we had to do a quarterly report, because each one of those reports was to print them off and then add them up manually and key them in. So being in healthcare, we wanted to keep up with things like stats, our average daily census, our FTEs, how many surgeries that we do, or any clinic procedures. So adding all that up and then keying it into a dashboard was so manual it led to mistakes. When we got Spreadsheet Server, we could actually tell it, hey, we want to do the quarters, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, or we just want period or year to date. And the same thing, since we put all that stat information into the general ledger system, it would automatically pull into an Excel. So what took my staff person days to do literally went to minutes. So if we were in any type of situation or a meeting where we wanted to make a change in our general ledger system, before we would have to tell our CFO, we'll have to get that to you tomorrow. It'll take a few hours to run that process through. Now, before we even leave the meeting, we open it up and it's done, because Spreadsheet Server is real time with our general ledger.